and it's going to be on Dusk Towers as well. So we're finally at the standard map. Woo!
So, guys, to kick things off here, like you said, PtitDrogo is finally going to get a chance for that revenge move. Now, Dusk Towers, Rotti.
Yeah,
So,
very standard map, right? It's a little bit similar to Orbital. And Pig, you mentioned that you were talking a little bit with Drogo, and you said Drogo was tilted. Because ByuN, we said it at the casting desk, he was going for a really greedy build,
oh
you
yeah.
know. Triple CC, and if you open up the way that Drogo did, Drogo opened up very safe defensively.
Yeah.
Drogo was ready to deal with what I would have expected from ByuN as well, I'm not going to lie.
8-gate Warp Prism, and then you remember we're talking about Drogo, and you're like, yeah, he's never going to do that. Like, this is Drogo, man. Like, he's the kind of guy, he's so good at StarCraft because he will lose to Cheese or a weird build 5 times in a row, and he will keep doing his own thing, and he'll make the tiny adjustments. He's all about the tiny tweaks to get the victory.
Well, we are loaded into Dusk Towers, and we're looking at the main base of my Insanity's very own Drogo.
And down in the south, his opponent from X Team. It is going to be the Red Terran, none other than ByuN.
And I gotta say, man, it's really cool to see so much emotion out of ByuN after every single victory. You know, I mockingly said it feels like he's winning GSL over here, but awesome, you know, like gladly show me those fist pumps, show me that it means something to you. Don't sit in that booth like, oh, ByuN, just want another $500, you know, like, yeah, played great, killed 7 Brook Lords 1 second before they were done. Whoa, you know, I'd rather be home. Like, no, show me that. I love it, man. Like, I'm becoming more and more of a fan of this guy. Like, I know that a lot of people have been a fan of him for a long time. I knew he was good. I casted him not too long ago together with Toto Biscuit and Nathanius in the Scandis 3 Invitational, and I was like, oh my god, okay, ByuN is actually getting super good again. But right now, after seeing him in person, awesome dude, awesome character. Give me more ByuN in my life.
Yeah, I actually had an opportunity to talk to him a little bit now, and I was sitting back there, and Snook came in a bit defeated because, I mean, it was such a narrow loss there on Arena. But then ByuN comes in, hugs him, and, you know, all good fun, and it's just so nice to see. Everyone's good friends here. So, I mean, everyone, I think we can all come together and say that we all love this StarCraft 2, but double gas taken right now here for ByuN.
Yeah, it's a polar opposite of what we saw on Orbital, man, and maybe that's what makes him such a dangerous player. Like, yeah, on Orbital I went for the most economic build in the book. Right now I'll go for pretty much the most aggressive opening in the book, other than proxying 3 Rexes, but, you know, ByuN is not going to do that. What is this going to be? Well, multiple options right now. He's got a lot of gas, so we'll see what he decides to go with it, but could even be Banshees? I know that sounds bizarre. Most likely it's just going to be very fast Widow Mines. Could be like multiple Widow Mine drops, 4 mines into even a follow-up. We will see, but one thing is for sure, ByuN is going to be aggressive.
Yeah, most certainly. Drogo here so far, going just for a fast Nexus, the Stalker and the Mothership Core. So far, a defensive stance, but he could change up his path if he chose to. Yeah, he's going to let the Mothership Core finish, which means, of course, no fast tech for Drogo. Just going to let that Mothership Core energy build up, and in this circumstance, I think that's a really good choice. It's going to work out very well versus the Widow Mine aggression.
This is actually really interesting because going way back into the WCS rounds of 16, those groups. The outline here of the build that ByuN is doing is exactly the same thing we saw Coffee do versus PtitDrogo. It wasn't All-Rainer though, but I mean, still the same outline where he just went for these massive concentrated Widow Mine drops that went on for a good 3 or 4 minutes. I don't think ByuN is going to pull something crazy like that, but I mean, it would be really fun in a series like this.
What's super important now is that this Mothership Core is heading all the way across the map. This is awesome for Drogo because he's actually going to see what he's up against. The downside of all of this is that the Mothership Core will be on the other side of the map, which means it's not at home defending. However, the scout is going to be very important. He spots 4 or 5 Marines. Did he see? Please show me the vision, guys.
Yeah,
Observer
I'm
one time.
sure he saw the starport there. Oh, no!
All right, well done, man. This Observer is good. He misses the medevac. I don't think he saw it. He will see both refineries. He will know the amount of gas that has been mined. Yeah. He knows that something aggressive is heading his way. The Robo is done. Doesn't have an Observer yet. I think he's going to recall that Mothership Core, though, right? Like,
yeah, he's just going to try and kill a few SCVs, be annoying, but he has to recall before the medevac gets in there. Otherwise, that Widow Mine will easily have time to burrow, and from there, things can get very messy.
Yeah, this could get into indeed a very, very scrappy scenario almost immediately. I mean, ByuN doesn't know what we know. He doesn't necessarily know how many units are waiting there. There is that recall indeed. Here comes the mine. The Observer's there. 2 Hellions could swing in as well from the left side. They could also head towards the expansion. Plenty of probes there. ByuN is going to do a lot of damage, guys.
Oh my gosh, so much damage on the Stalkers. The probes going down. 6 probes already dead. Does start to repel the attack, but there's still
nothing
a
there.
there.
There's nothing in the natural, guys. All the probes are not mining in the main base. Absolutely nothing here.
Gateway production is still very low here for Drogus. He's not going to be able to actually reinforce very well. I want to say, look at this. He's banking so many minerals because he can't spend anything. The Gateway is now going to be powering online, but a Liberator is coming in to reinforce this position as well for ByuN. And even though a lot of probes have fallen for PtitDrogo, I really want to say he could have been in a much worse position. But now, this Liberator is going to lay siege to the mineral line in the main base.
Yeah, of course, a one-base Terran opening is bound to deal some economic damage. Don't get that wrong. Don't get too fooled. But getting all these stalkers and stuff, that is super nice. He's finally going to be able to pick up this. Matter of fact, the two Hellions, though, a lot of probes clumped up.
no.
Great shots there for ByuN.
Drogo taking a real beating here. I mean, this might be recoverable from the CC. Still not done on ByuN's side, but that Liberator, what can he do to get rid of it?
And let's not forget, he made a Twilight Console, never used it yet, and that's something that's very powerful. This is nice, actually. He gets close. Does he have enough damage output here? It's going to be close. Okay, there is an extra Stalk here, and that will take care of this Liberator. 2 Stalkers for a Lib. Not the worst trade ever. Not great either. He's still up 7 workers, though, so as painful as that looked, I mean, those 2 Hellions, they were inches away from, instead of killing 4 probes, killing 14 probes, and that's when it's curtains. Right now, it's not great for Drogo because his tech is incredibly delayed, but it is still something that maybe he can claw his way back into this game because he's still up 9 workers, and that is good.
Yeah, I really want to say that right now what PtitDrogo is doing is an excellent way to sort of salvage the situation. He's going to get that blink up and running, but again, Liberator's coming to the main base. It's further going to shut down mining. I do believe there might... Oh, never mind, there was only 1 Liberator, but at this point in time, ByuN, he's actually moving out across the map.
I think that Nexus is dead, though. How many Stalkers do we have? Is it like 3, 4 Stalkers at best, right?
Like no more than that. 14 army supply. Drogo does not have a lot of fighting units. Yeah, he's been rebuilding his probes.
No
He's
way.
up 10 workers, but what else does he have? I mean, even his main base might be threatened by this. I'm pretty sure ByuN will just kill the Nexus and walk away.
Yeah,
He's got his own 3rd CC down, but like Drogo, this is a disaster for him. He doesn't have a Forge on the way. He doesn't have a Robo. Oh, he does have the Robo, but only an Observer. This is so
Oh my god, ridiculously good play here by ByuN. He's just doing everything right. I love it. The tank protecting that Widow Mine as well. The scan, killing that Observer, getting multiple splash damage off on these Stalkers, the tank, the Widow Mine. He's actually not going to turn around. He's like, oh, your Stalkers are low on HP. I do not think the game is going to end here, but ByuN is doing game-ending damage.
Absolutely, the Liberator on the left-hand side, it just keeps on moving about. It might even try to, oh my god,
Sick
that
play.
is disgusting. Oh, this is a worst nightmare for Drogo. Oh, ByuN, powerful, solid play, and if he gets this robotics, it is just devastating.
Yeah, I really wanted to say that Drogo was doing a good job sort of opening very safely, but the Mana Mule is going to come down, and ByuN knows he's got this in the bag. This position is virtually unbreakable for PtitDrogo. Blink is done now, so he's going to get right to the top of everything, but still, the damage has been done, guys.
Oh my god, the tank, the double mule repair on the tank.
Oh my god, ByuN is ridiculous. In the end, I mean, that was very expensive, and I do think a little bit of an overkill. It wasn't a real Mana Mule because he was trying to repair the tank, but the Widow Mine is going to kill this probe as well. Ridiculously disgusting good play out of ByuN so far on Dusk Towers. Like, if you're a Terran right now, you're just like, oh, yes, I love this. Like, you love every second of it because from the beginning of the end, this was great play. He's just catching Drogo everywhere with his pants down. Like, beautiful display of Terran.
We made a Phoenix there for a second. I don't know what's going on, but I mean, he's still trying to stay in this game. Forge going down, he's going to try to reestablish this 3rd base, but like you guys mentioned previously, 3rd CC already done here for ByuN. He's slowly going to be catching up and then getting the lead in the workers. And I mean, he's got his upgrades coming, Stim, Combat Shield, everything in the macro department for ByuN is just lining up perfectly.
Yeah, Drogo's very far behind right now. Cannot afford to take any more damage. This drop coming in the back, the pylon does not fully cover that mineral line. Gonna have to pull those probes away and bring up his 2 Stalkers and Immortal, which is pretty much his entire army right now. Drogo, once again, taking little bits of more damage, which he cannot afford.
It's so rough to play PvT as well. Once you take a lot of economic damage early on, Pylon not there, Phoenix a little bit out of position, will eventually chip away at the Liberator, but it's going to take some time. Gyo is playing super good StarCraft. Once again, if you are at, he's going to get the Mothership for 2 years. So sick. Wow. I'm kind of lost for words here. This is insane.
Yeah, no Photonova charge available right now for PtitDrogo. These Stalkers do have Blink, of course, but at the same time, another Strike Force hitting this 3rd base. 2 siege tanks in the position as well. And, I mean, even if he does manage to clean things up going on in the bases, this third base is virtually forfeit.
Yeah, Drogo not showing his best play right now. You can see the tilt is in full effect right now. I mean, he's going to clean this up.
Oh, that's
Nice
nice.
Immortal focus fire on the tanks. Does lose one Immortal, but look, even at the same time, another drop in the back. 19 probes total kill there. And oh my god, even a drop in the main base.
I thought Widow Mines, but it's a Marauder and 2 Marines. Like, yeah, ByuN's is everywhere. Once again, once you start losing against Terran, once you have no vision, once you have no idea where those drops are coming from, it is the beginning of the end, especially when you go up against someone like ByuN. He's going to punish you for every single bit of map vision that you lack. Yeah, a painful game for Drogo, man. There's really no other way to put it. Got unfortunate, took a lot of damage early on, and it's a combination of two things, right? A couple of minor mistakes here and there by Drogo, but insane play by ByuN, absolutely insane.
Yeah, I really want to say, and just looking at how things start spiraling out of control there just a couple of minutes ago, you can really see the frustration in the troop movements of PtitDrogo. He's trying desperately to move across and cover all of these areas that ByuN constantly keep hitting, but I mean, he's just not able to keep up.
I feel like he hasn't been consistently mining for the last 5 or 6 minutes in his game. Probes are always being bounced around. GG, ByuN goes 4-0 in this show match between Team Korea and Team World All-Stars.
Lived up to the expectations, so he really wants to show, hey, come on guys, I'm not just joking around, I am the real deal.
I think a lot of people looked at TY and Deer here as the players that were definitely going to go 4-0. ByuN probably 4-0, maybe 3-1, but probably 4-0. TY actually being 1-2, just like this man, he wants revenge.
Nice, but here we have him, our blue Protoss. It is going to be the WCS champion right now. It is none other than Harstem.
Flaming Lips. Such a great nickname.
Such a sick nick.
But he's got to get through this guy over here, formerly known as Baby, representing the All-Stars Korean team. It is TY.
TY was there the last time we were in China as well, Pick, in Shenzhen.
Yeah, he
actually had a great interview with him.
Yeah, after his amazing set with Snoot, which he won very decisively, sick bridgehead game they had, man. Borrowed banelings all over the place, but TY was just too much.
Yeah, that was
Good
awesome.
memories.
Yep, I kind of thought that TY looked like a player that could have gone all the way in that tournament, but in the end he did get stopped. I mean, that tournament was kind of ridiculously filled with Protoss players. In case you guys forgot, Inter Extreme Masters Shenzhen, you know, roughly half a year ago, maybe a little bit longer, it had Classic, Rain, Parting, and Yentus Hero. Well, in that moment you're not like, I wonder which race is going to win the tournament, you know, because it doesn't really matter if you're TI or not, like, you know, those guys are ridiculous. TY.
TY has been performing very strong this year so far. Legacy of the Void looking to be his game, and it's really funny because whenever Terran players are having a hard time in the TVP matchup, I feel like there's always one or maybe at most 2 players who stand out from the pack, and everyone watches their games and goes, oh my god, so this is how you do it.
Yeah.
And then they try to do it and they just can't execute it on the same level. I feel like TY is that guy right now.
Yeah, most certainly. I think TY together with ByuN, for me, probably going to be the biggest Terrans to follow, because I mean, sort of not, I really don't think that they were at the same level. Just looking back maybe half a year ago, 8 months, as they are now, they're both looking so crisp, and I'm just so happy they flew out here to participate in this event, because it's just been such a great turnout. We've had such many amazing games. But now you know, guys, coming into this game, Dusk Towers, map number 2 for the last map here at the All-Star Challenge. We have fairly standard openings, nothing too crazy going on. Adept opening here for Harstem, and this SCV is still just on the patrol there in the main base. Find whatever info he can.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. It's been awesome watching TY. It's been awesome watching ByuN. You know, looking at them from home when you're just sitting behind your PC and you often have the stream on your second monitor. Like, yeah, you see that good. But the moment you're super focused and you really pay a lot of attention to every single thing they do, it's like, wow, these guys, they're actually mind-blowingly good. So I couldn't agree more. It's super awesome to have them here. And indeed, the build's very standard. Nothing too crazy so far. Harstem opening up very defensively. We'll probably follow it up with a Twilight Console as well. Maybe he surprises us while going Robo into Stargate, but that's a little bit unusual. And look at that, very quick third command center there for TY as well. That's going to be greedy, and that's going to work very well against Robo Twilight builds.
Yes, so to be honest, in PvT, I really prefer the approach that PtitDrogo has most often, that he goes into that Stargate, because I feel the Oracle gives you so much more map presence. It threatens the Terran into a much more defensive posture, and you can really punish a fast third CC, for instance. And of course, it gives you great scouting, but this Reaper really going to be worth his weight in gold, because he comes in and sees everything.
Yeah, nice scouting info. Of course, you know, Harstem's style is strong. It allows him to get up his just initial ground army, his observer vision very early on. but it does lack a little bit of that flexibility, a little bit of that kind of mobile pressure.
It is super important that Harstem goes for a very quick nexus behind this. The exact same thing as I said in the Drogo series. Because from this point on, TY's economy is going to be better eventually than Harstem's economy. Even though Harstem is up 8 workers right now, that's nothing, guys, when it's triple orbital command and all those mules start raining down from the skies. So he needs to expand as quick as possible. Like, it is doable to 2-base all in this, but then you really need to identify it super quickly that you're playing against this, or maybe even just have that plan all along. And if that was your plan all along, yeah, there's a very good chance you win with a 2-base all in. But by the time that your first observer makes it across the map, it's already a little bit too late for that. You know, there will be too many bio units and stuff.
Yeah, thankfully it does look like Harstem is going to drop that third nexus. Well, his observers only halfway across the map. TY so far did do a good job in that early game of denying scouting with his Reaper. So Harstem just playing a very kind of middle of the road build, but still expanding at a reasonable pace.
TY is doing something different though than ByuN. ByuN went for multiple Rexes, like triple Rex behind this. That's super safe, right? That's going to give you so many bio units, and it's going to delay your aggression, but at least you're going to have a lot of units. TY, despite the fact that he's opening up triple orbital, is still sending out a medevac. He's still going to try to do a little bit of economic damage, which has obviously hit later because of that command center, and right now it is kind of unacceptable for Harstem to take too much damage here. He should really shut this down. Losing 1, maybe 2 probes, you know, that's not the end of the world, but you don't want to lose any more than that.
Yeah, wow. TY being so ridiculously greedy, just now adding in the additional racks number 2 and 3. Even getting a Raven here, so he's going to be playing it rather safe. Wants to have that mobile detection. Siege tank also on there, but this medevac gets completely stopped then in his tracks. I don't think it's going to be finding any damage.
I would have loved to see Harstem hide those stalks a little bit and then blink forward and then like get below that medevac, and then it's a guaranteed tail. He revealed his hand a little bit too early there. It's going to be important for Harstem that he pays attention to his observers, because that Raven could be a very strong indicator of TY gearing up for one very strong attack. Not necessarily an all-in, but an attack with a ridiculous amount of Marines, tanks, a Raven or 2 there to nullify the Stalker damage, and then just put a crazy amount of pressure on that third Nexus from Harstem. And obviously as a Protoss, if you lose your third Nexus against triple orbital Terran, you're dead in the water.
He's only getting a single engineering bay as well, so I mean, you might very well be correct there, Rotti. Because I mean, opening so greedy, not going for the double engineering bay, for me it sort of indicates that he wants to be putting on a bit more pressure than you'd usually see, not sit back so much, but I mean, for now, very defensive setup. Just make sure to not take any counter damage. These drops still going on though, so very nice.
No.
Oh! Okay. Quick there, very quick.
Good reaction time by Harstem.
Good defense. I mean, you're talking about the single upgrades. I really do like single upgrades, that you can kind of increment them out without spending so much money at once. Keeps you a lot safer. We are going to see the second forward going down for Harstem, though.
He's like, I think he's played against too many Korean Protosses, man. He's like, you're going to go DTs with a Prism. I know you're going to go DTs with a Prism. Like, I have a Raven, and I'm also going to make 5 missile turrets, because I am so sure you're going to drop Dark Templars in my base. And Harstem is like, huh? So, DTs? No, man, I don't know what you're paranoid about, but I'm not going DTs at all.
We do see adept attack speed on the production tab for Harstem. So, I mean, he's obviously got the plan with the Warp Prism as well to do some adept pressure, but I mean, he's just going to see those missile turrets and just have a poke around, no doubt. Trying to get in there, but no huge commitment from Harstem whatsoever.
TY is traumatized by Dark Templar drops, guys. Like, obviously, turrets are going to help a little bit in keeping Prisms at bay as well, but no amount of missile turrets is really going to keep a Warp Prism out of your base. Like, if the Warp Prism truly wants to find a little angle, it will always find an angle to warp in units or not. Like, this is mostly against Dark Templars, and I think that's hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, you know how it is. It's the same thing as a Protoss. Terran will always find that little gap and, you know, get in, find some damage. But still, I'm kind of surprised that we see TY just sitting back so defensively. He's adding in a 4th command center now. It's just so defensive. This is definitely not what I expected out of him.
Yeah, I mean, TY is known as one of the few players who could, you know, play end game PvT, right? Really late game. So he is a player who's very confident getting up a high Liberator count, playing at that stage of the game. Notice how his stim is so incredibly late, but he's already getting so many Liberators out. It seems like TY has basically said, you know what, I think I'm so good at this stage of the game, I'm just going to rush straight there. And unless Harstem identifies this and himself techs up incredibly fast, I think he's just going to be behind at that stage of the game where the first big 200 supply fight happens.
This is a very weird moment for TY to move out, because he doesn't even have stim yet, so that army will get absolutely crushed by Harstem's army with Guardian Shield. Oh, well, all those missile turrets, they were good for something, as Harstem loses Prism with 3 adepts in it. I am happy to see that Harstem is rushing up to Storm, but he doesn't have Storm yet, so he has to be a tiny bit careful. already dropping this. Oh, no, 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 no! High Templar is exposed.
Oh, that's a really nice catch there for TY. Exactly what he was looking for. The Liberator is even going to find 3 probes before it goes down in the main base, and not all too much damage done just yet. There's a cannon and 3 Stalkers ready in position as well. So, oh, it's so frustrating. That Liberator surviving with just 1 shot away from certain death.
So damn close. Those Liberators just coming in, trying to be annoying, picking away at the back of Harstem. We can see TY taking a pretty nice supply lead here, up about 25 supply right now, securing a planetary at his 4th, going for an armory, and oh, very nice drop into the main, but good pylon cannon so far. Oh, PDD!
Love it. That's super smart. That point defense run, nullifying all the damage of those photon overcharges, so all these bio units are super healthy. Working on the robotics facility, and he will be able to pick it up. There are 2 Widow Mines over here as well, so Harstem's going to be a tiny bit careful. Mines will kill a couple of adepts, but nothing too major. Meanwhile, there's another attack at the 4th base. Harstem does have units in position. Those storms from the War Prism, loving it.
Wow, very nice storms in that
enough,
first
though.
chunk, but there is just so much bio here. Even though the Liberators went down at the very beginning of the fight, Harstem is just looking so light on units right now. TY's macro is incredible.
Good
What
game, well played.
Masterclass of TVP right there.
TY was indeed a little
Catch all of this attention to detail, it's beautiful.
It really is a different experience. It's what I love so much about being able to commentate an event, watch it live, feel the energy of the crowd, feel the intensity of the players, and ask them questions about the games right after the match. But we don't have too much time for that chatter because we are diving into Dusk Towers. And on the bottom side of Dusk Towers, spawning is our blue Protoss player. It is PtitDrogo.
Just 2 more maps to go. I'm going to miss it. I hope the last 2 games will be awesome. Over here on the right top side, we're looking at the main base of the man himself. It's Deer. He has not lost yet, and the expectation is that he's not going to lose. He's 3-0 so far, and obviously Deer wants to close this out. You know, get it done, 4-0. But Drogo made him work very hard for it on the arena, so I do think that Deer is respecting him, and we're going to see Deer play his absolute best StarCraft over here.
Yeah, I mean, he has to show Drogo respect. I mean, the moment that you sort of drop this facade and you relax a little bit too much, PtitDrogo is going to get in there, and he doesn't hesitate. He's going to go for the jab right away. So, I mean, all of these games, super high intensity. Right off the bat, though, 2 gateways here, Rotty. What do you make of this?
Well, aggression. And I kind of wonder what kind of aggression. This is weird because Drogo does not have a single probe out on the map. So this must be a 2 gate, and then maybe followed up by a Stargate. Could also be into an expand, but normally you don't really see 2 gate, 1 base openings, because if your opponent decides to go for a wall off, that could be painful. Maybe Drogo has been watching replays of Deer, realizing that Deer doesn't go for a full wall off here, still goes for a fast expand. Like, if Drogo opens up with Stalkers here, I'm confused. I know he likes Stalkers more than Adepts, but I feel he's doing this for a reason, which gives me the idea that it must be Adepts, because he doesn't have a profile on the map, so what are you going to do with just Stalker production?
Yeah, it's got to be something special. Definitely out of Drogo's regular playbook. What we're watching right now, Deer is now coming across with that probe, is going to take a look, and will be scouting that himself. Meanwhile, with such a fast Nexus back home, he's going up to the double gas, going up to the core, and he's still only on a single gate right now back home.
If these ain't Adepts, I'm super confused.
Yeah, and remember, bear in mind, he's got a lot of gas that starts this Stargate right away. First Adept on the way, Rotty. Seems like you were right. His second Adept started as well, just for good measure, of course. But out of this Stargate, probably going to see an Oracle. I mean,
Yeah.
wouldn't really expect too much else.
Ooh, he cancelled the Adepts.
Huh?
That's a fake, so this is a complete fake over here. This is really cool play by Drogo. So he does open up with the Adepts, but the idea behind all of this is just to go for the absolute quickest Stargate possible. And that it only makes, well, I mean, he is expanding behind it. I am expecting an Oracle, though. Like, if you rush a Stargate this quickly, it almost has to be an Oracle, because having a Phoenix a couple of seconds quicker, that's not really the greatest deal in the world. Like, yeah, it helps, because they will gather up more energy, guarantees more kills. But I really feel this has to be an Oracle, and he's looking for a lot of probe kills. Cool play, I love it, man, because he showed both gateways, you know, are researching something or are building something. So Deer is like, all right, you know, show me the Adepts. I know that they're coming. Drogo actually going for the absolute quickest Stargate possible behind this. Mothership Core going to be out of position. Deer is not expecting this. There is a chance that this Oracle is going to do a lot of damage, but it also needs to do a lot of damage because this Nexus is way later than the Nexus of Deer.
Yeah, I mean, Deer's build is very minimalistic in terms of going straight for the Robo, just defending with a couple of units. He will have 2 Stalkers out. They will be roughly at home, but 2 Stalkers do not kill an Oracle as fast as an Oracle kills 8 probes. That Oracle, if it just clicks on those probes, queues it up, like, a lot of them are going to die. That Mothership Core is so far out of position right now.
Yeah, there's only a single Stalker in the main mineral line. The Natural, though, completely naked, so there's not going to be any way for him to defend it, and PtitDrogo's Oracle is going to be swinging in towards that main base. 2 Stalkers ready to greet him, but I mean, he's going to be able to pick up at least a decent number of kills before
No,
he
no,
can
no,
get...
no, no,
Whoa,
no,
miscontrol here.
Yeah, don't shoot at the Stalker. You were spot on though. Like that Oracle is supposed to kill 7-8 probes there, but Drogo getting distracted by this mothership and actually focusing the Stalker for quite a bit there. That is a missed opportunity, man. Now in the end, it's a 4-2 trade. I don't think that's good enough. There is another Oracle heading to the other side of the map, so it's going to be double Oracle arrest. Recall is used, so 1 photon overcharge is available, and look at this triangle of pylons, very important.
Yeah, nice setup from Deer. 3 Stalkers in the natural, 2 Stalkers and a Mothership Core with an overcharge in the main. These Oracles coming in, they got to get out of there. They're taking so much damage, both of them heavily bruised. They do kill another 3 probes, but they have to just get out of there. They got to go back and regenerate those shields.
Yeah, look at the work account though, guys. 37 against 34. I mean, I'm not 100% sold that this is really good for Drogo because he's sitting with 2 Oracles right now that are quite bruised already, so I don't think he can play too risky with it. Deer on the other end already researching Blink, but it is definitely very playable. I mean, he's ahead in workers, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it could have been a lot worse for our French Protoss. One thing to bear in mind, though, as this Blink has started, there's not even a Twilight Council out for PtitDrogo. The only thing, like one plus side I want to give him is the fact that he's maintained the Oracle, so they can come in at a little later and be a bit annoying, and he can also tag the army of his opponent, so at least he's got that going for him. But otherwise, I'd say he's behind.
Yeah, he's really got to get out there and take that 3rd base, though. Deer taking the 3rd with Blink on the way. He's already had his robo up for ages. He's building multiple observers for map vision. I mean, Deer's feeling comfortable here. Yeah, Drogo's up a couple supply, but come on, you've got to secure that 3rd right now, or Deer is just going to pull ahead in the long game.
Yep, I mean, even when it's... Oh. That's annoying, man. Like, oh, okay, Drogo has a couple Stalkers here, but still, it's still annoying. If he's gonna wipe in the Cyber Core, I'm gonna get really mad.
Do it, Deer. No. I mean, as much as that could tilt your opponent, it's really not worthwhile when they've got 3 Stalkers standing next to it. But a very nice delay as it is. Drogo's Nexus going down when the 3rd of Deer's is already almost finished. These Oracles, once again, being very well defended, running into some more Stalkers.
Oh, the miscontrol again there from PtitDrogo. First in the main base, now above the 3rd. With mistakes like this, you can't keep making them.
That's the thing, though. Yeah. They were quite bruised already. Drogo is going to go for the Harstem build. Look at that. That's why he has no Twilight Con. So we're going to start up a Void Ray +1, 2 extra Stargates. But I think that Deer is going to spot this very quickly. He still has an Observer. He's probably going to see that Void Ray in production now as well. And I think then he already knows enough. And I do not think that Deer is going to make the same mistake as Spock made. He's not going to sit back, man. He's going to be aggressive. Maybe send a Warp Prism into the natural, warp in a couple of DTs. Maybe some charge lots as well as soon as that's done. And I think he's going to punish Drogo for it.
Are we thinking just a few Void Rays and then into carriers, right?
Yeah, yeah. Well, more than just a few, because he needs quite a few Void Rays to even ever make it to that phase in the game.
Okay, wow. Going to be a very ballsy build. Didn't think I'd see that again this tournament after Harstem's one. Definitely a very niche build, a very special build, but if you can pull it off, it's a really cool way to win. Of course, the carriers, the Fleet Beacon, that's still a while away for the moment. The Void Rays are in position, but Warp Prism is on the way.
There's barely any Observer, by the way, for Drogo, because he lost the Oracles. Maybe 1 Oracle is alive, but does he even have he has 1 Observer, but 1 Observer is not enough. Dark Templars are about to being wiped in. Oh, there. You can wipe in DTs,
there we go. 4 DTs, it shall be, gentlemen. +1 anti-charge behind this as well. 6 more gateways, Templar Archives. All of the infrastructure for Deer right now is just powering on up. And like you said, Rotty, single Observer, you need a lot more for this. He's producing an Immortal right now. He might be forced to cancel that one, because right now he's going to be taking a lot of damage, or at least
damage can they do? These DTs coming in now. Lots of probes starting to go down. 5 probes.
He's going to unpower the Robo, or even kill the robotics facility. Only a single Observer. This is going to be bad for Drogo. The real question is, how bad is it? A couple of Stalkers are going to run into the natural as well. That's kind of cool. Revelation is going to be used maybe over here, but 14 workers already going down. Recall being used.
Oh no!
There's still more Dark Templars being wiped in. This is like the beginning of the end, man.
Oh wow!
They are playing so smartly right now. I'm loving this. Comes up with the Stalkers to peel away the army and gets the Robo, and he's even going to find a couple of. He's actually saving the DTs here. Excellent play right now from Deer.
Maybe a Photon Overcharge or anything. He's not going to get. And there's still 1 Dark Templar. That was tagged by Revelation. The thing is, though, Deer's doing a lot of economic damage. He had a crazy amount of gateways going up at home. Deer is getting ready to whop in 4 or 5 Archons, a crazy amount of charge lots, and just bomb rush Drogo. Ooh, does he get it? No. I really think that Dea should just go for it, like just shove it. You're gonna have so many units more than your opponent has, so just go for that big frontal attack. Do not let your opponent ever go up to 6 to 9 carriers, because that's where things go wrong.
Yeah, carriers in production now, but they're not going to be out for ages. And I mean, this position that Drogo's in, it's just going to be so tough. The difference, I think, between Puck and Deer, of course, is Puck was sitting back playing so passive. Was even on this very map. Deer has that killer instinct.
I must say though, shout out to Drogo. I thought that was going to be worse. He ended up losing 14 probes. I would have lost 44 probes. Because if you only have one observer and you have to defend 3 bases, that's very, very rough. So pretty damn good crisis management there by Drogo. He's even going to try to strike back a little bit, but I mean, it's super obvious, right? Deer is gearing up for his attack right now. Multiple Archons. He is going to bomb rush Drogo. He is going to hit when there are only 3 carriers. Drogo is going to wipe in a whole bunch of cannons because he's worried about it. Is it going to be enough? I don't think so. I think that Deer will just have too many gateway units.
Yeah, these carriers are going to need time not only to finish building, but they also need to build extra interceptors. These cannons may be done in time, but with so few units, so many Archons and charge lots coming in, Deer's army supply is just staggering. Oh my gosh, Drogo's going to need the perfect engagement to defend. And look at this timing from Deer. This is just so typical of this Korean team. Throughout this entire tournament, they're always hitting just before the global players are ready by a fraction of a second.
Yep. Capital ships or not, Deer does not care. He's gonna warp in 6, 7 more units, and then he's gonna go for it, man. 4 cannons, Deer does not care. He's gonna show no regards for human life, and he's just gonna rush this.
Yeah, there's not even a graviton catapult upgrade for these carriers. I mean,
+2 and go.
Yeah, exactly. It's just going to go for that +2, and now it's finished up. So this should be a timing it together with his War Prism attack. He's going to be able to distract PtitDrogo in the main base, forcing all of the energy there off of the mothership core. So now these pylons are virtually useless, and here we go, engaging up into the 3rd base. This is game.
It would be awesome for Drogo if he can kill that Prism, because then there is no way to reinforce. The Archons are actually struggling a little bit. A lot of the Zealots did go down to these cannons. Can Drogo actually do the impossible and hold here?
No, the Void Rays dishing out damage, but they don't do a lot to Archons.
Interceptors are gone.
Oh my gosh, there is not a lot left. There's 1 Immortal, 2 Stalkers, and Drogo is forced out. Deer showing absolute confidence and absolutely pristine.
ByuN, who just wanted to go 4-0, and then in the end, you know, no shame in losing to Deer. Like, Deer is incredibly good. It is what it is for Drogo. He's going to pick it up and just get ready for the next event. That is probably going to be DreamHack Austin for him, where he's going to try to defend his DreamHack title. But we've got one more map ahead of us. It's been an amazing day of StarCraft, but this is going to be the absolute last one.
So, guys, here we are. Last map, Dusk Towers, and another rematch. Here we have him, the NA Protoss. It is Puck.
The best in NA. He's going to have to go through this guy over here. That's like the fastest intro ever. It is Stork.
Stork, of course, wants revenge. There is not a single Korean here that lost 2 maps against the same player from Team World All-Stars, so obviously he wants to prevent that.
Yeah.
Stork could be the only one that actually goes 0-2 in head-to-head matches against Puck. He doesn't want to be that guy. I'm pretty sure that Puck is feeling very confident here. I mean, we spoke about him at the start of the day. He said he felt like 100% sure he's going to win at least one of the 2 encounters with Stork. Yeah. And he said 70% sure I can 2-0 him. Well, we're about to find out. Would be awesome. The score right now between these 2 teams, Korea has 18 wins. Team World All-Star has 5, so the final score is either going to be 19-5 or 18-6. And I must say, 18-6 has a much nicer ring to it. And you know, TY, I made a Snapchat video with TY, and he predicted 18-6.
Ah, TY.
6 cents. I like this, by the way, you know, just opening things up here, however, on Dusk Towers from Puck, showing a lot of confidence and comfort by going for that Nexus first.
Nice scouting denial by Stork there, going for the full wall-off with his Cybercore. Of course, Stork also going for a fast expand, but not quite as fast as the Nexus first of Puck. So Puck getting a nice edge in that regard, but because the scouting is denied, he's got to have a little bit of umming and ahhing. I mean, surely that Cybercore timing does tell you that there's a Nexus though, right, Roddy?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, to put things in perspective, I've been thinking about how to explain this, right? Like, how big of an economic loot is this for Puck? It comes down to how to just farm, like, hedge first to pool or pool into hedge, you know? It's like, yeah, there is an advantage, but how big is it really? Like, if both players would just build probes, it is pretty big, but what often happens is that the person that went Nexus first gets a little paranoid, makes a quicker mothership core, focuses a little bit more chrono boost on the gateways, and then it almost just evens out, you know. Of course, there is a small edge for the player that went Nexus first, but this is not like, wow, major build order advantage.
No, but again, I remember talking about this a little bit before. I like the way that Puck continuously just goes for the good old-fashioned two Stalkers at the very start of things. He's been doing this continuously in his PvPs just to safeguard himself versus Oracle, because, I mean, it's such a common way to open up here. And what do we see out of Stork? Stargate.
Yeah, Puck is actually gonna go. This would be super funny if Puck is gonna go for a proxy Stargate himself, because he has that probe over there. That Stargate from Stork is indeed fast, but Puck loves proxying a Stargate. It's really funny because I heard Harstem talk with Puck, and Harstem is like, "Yeah, you love to proxy Stargate," and Puck's like, "Do I?" Harstem is like, "Yeah, you do." Puck's like, "Really?" He's like, "Yeah, you do it like all the time." Puck's like, "Oh yeah, I do it all the time." Harstem is like, "You mean it?" He's like, "No, I never do it." It was like the weirdest conversation, and I was just smiling. And that's why I will smile even more if Puck actually decides to go for a proxy target here. But no, he sticks to his word. He never proxies his target. Even though they were talking mostly about Orbital, but in my eyes, Orbital and Dusk Tower is PvP. I really don't see much of a change.
Yeah, I mean, Puck has shown in the past he pretty much loves to go blink Stalkers a lot in this matchup, and sometimes goes a little bit wild and crazy with them blinking into the main, and sometimes even trying to elevate his sentries. But on Dusk Towers, I don't think there's going to be too much opportunity for that.
No, it's, I don't think that probe actually found all too much in the main base here of Puck. I doubt he's seen the Twilight. Probably hasn't seen the Robo just yet. No, they were on the right-hand side there of the main base. So nice, of course, denying that scout. On the other side of things, Stork with not all too much really going on, but this Oracle now is going to go face first into these three Stalkers.
Puck's ready, man. Solid as a rock once again. Just deflects that Oracle, takes almost no damage, and that has to feel good. Whenever your opponent opens up with an Oracle, you know, if you lose 1 or 2 probes, it's like, no big deal. If you lose 5, 6 probes, it's like, haha, that sucked. That's a lot of gateways, by the way, for Puck already. There's a good chance that Puck is again going to go for heavy 3-base gateway aggression. That doesn't mean that he's super all-in, but he's going to try to maybe end the game there.
Yeah, I really like the fast third Nexus as well. It's just so confident. And of course, Stork's pushing out to do a light Stalker pressure. Oh,
And the
fuck.
Stalkers are out of position, man. That's annoying.
Cheeky, cheeky.
Oh, Oracle finds one single kill. No one really extending in very far there, but Stalkers, of course.
Oh, the
like,
Cybercore!
No, gateway. Wow, we gotta tell Puck, man. Cybercore has
Oh.
more HP, but I don't think it matters, man. There are 5 Stalkers in a Mothership Core, because no building in the world regenerates HP that quickly. Other than Evolution Chambers, those units, those buildings, I mean, ridiculous big.
If there's one player who can't resist doing those little moves to try and annoy their opponent, it's Puck. Playing against this guy, it's like someone on the bus is sitting next to you and they're just grabbing you by the shoulders and shaking you back and forwards. It's very, very irritating, but Puck is a master of those little moves.
That's cool. Stork was setting up a trap there with a stasis trap. He's going to try to lure the Stalker to Puck into it, but Puck had an observer right above it. So it's like, yeah, that's very cute, but I'm not going to fall for that, buddy.
Blink is about to finish with Puck a little bit faster, so Stork actually has to be very careful here. One big warp in of Stalkers, and he may just be able to pounce on top of Stork's units.
Yeah, very nice though, finds the first pick, and now both of them trading evenly. There goes the stasis trap, so doesn't have to worry about that anymore. But for now, Stork is going to be backing off. He's got his third base soon up and running, but I mean, looking at the production, or looking at the working count, Stork actually ahead.
Yeah, taking a nice little worker lead. It's the advantage of pressuring like that. You force all of your opponent's presence right there. He knows he's got the safety kind of fallback of the trap. So the moment he wants to, he can just focus on probing, pull his units back, and it was a really good pressure there, just giving those tiny edges. And ooh.
Interesting, getting 3 sentries there, and there's also getting a warp prism. That immediately gives me the idea that he wants to make something happen. Now, you don't really want to fly your warp prism into your opponent's main base when he has a whole bunch of blink stalkers, but there is a chance that as soon as Puck has an immortal or 2, that he's at least going to try to make something happen with 3 base blink stalker, like he always does, or at least almost always does.
Yeah, it seems like he's very, very on top of just trying to do that every game, even delaying his disruptors quite a long time. Meanwhile, Stork, already finishing up his robotics bay, is very soon going to be going into that disruptor production after just a couple of immortals and adding his own forge to try and catch up on the upgrades with Puck.
Stork also threw down 5 gateways additionally there, so he's going to be up to a total of 8, I believe. So, I mean, he's got a great set of infrastructure. He's got pylons set up around the third base. And Puck, he's actually moving out very far onto the map. Is he going to try to commit here? Ooh, he finds the Oracle, almost barely gets away.
Yeah, this is interesting, right? Because Puck is committing a lot to, or at least he's committing quite a bit to this, and he doesn't have a robot base. Stork is going to go up to disrupt this, but Stork has also been making Immortals. So I think that Stork is looking pretty damn solid over here. This is risky. He's going to drop a force field. He's going to try to maybe trap an Immortal. That's nice. Forward blink immediately.
Oh,
That's really
so
nice,
sick.
forcing the blink down. But with the pylon cannons there, adding so much damage, I think Stork is doing okay. There's force fields, though, blocking out so many Storks of Stork. Oh, but Stork gonna get down on top. Nice pick up on the Immortal. It does survive. The Stork is warping in for Puck. He's trying to take a vicious fight here, but Stork is looking very confident.
Yeah, Stork has way more Stalkers, man. Great micro there by Stork as well. Great photon overcharge. He's gonna push Puck back, and it seems like Stork's gonna be able to get revenge. Puck has a lot of money in the bank, so maybe this is not 100% over, but he's gotta get out of there, man. Oh, he's so fortunate. Oh, there is high ground vision. Another forward blink. The Warp Prism falls. I think Stork's going to clean up everything here.
Puck getting way too over-eager there, staying far too long and taking an absolutely
Private
horrendous engagement. Stork looking very confident with his defense, slowly transitioning to disruptors during all of this, and now he is set to put on some impressive counter pressure.
Yeah, and behind all of this, you know, Puck committing so much into that attack, not really getting all too much done. They just traded basically, and he has no follow-up behind this, no additional tech, and now Stork is going to push the issue. He's got the disruptors with this as well as an Immortal at the back.
Yeah, it wasn't even really a trade. He lost more than he killed. He lost all of his Immortals. He lost the Warp Prism. He just has no more options to be aggressive.
Intercepting a reinforcing disruptor is
that's
Puck with
nice.
those 6 Stalkers. Going to kill a few probes, deny the 4th base. Yeah, this is some really nice damage. Does need to do this sort of stuff if he wants to stay in this game.
What
Hey,
are
this
the
is
probes
Puck
doing?
I'm not sure where they all came from, to be honest. I think they were just transferring to the fourth way ahead of time.
These Stalkers, I mean, even though it was a cool move getting a disruptor, if you end up losing 5 Stalkers, I'm not even sure if it's worth it. Puck does have money in the bank, so if he can secure a 4th base, if he can get a 2nd Robo and now his own Robo Bay, if you give Puck disruptors, there's a chance, but I think Stork has enough killer instinct and above all experience to just not let it get to that phase in the game. Right now, Stork's army is better, and he should not allow Puck to get a 4th base.
Yeah, it's actually insane how Puck manages to kind of edge his way back into these games if you give him time. But time is exactly what Stork is not giving him here. He is pushing in. These 2 disruptors to zone out are doing so well. Great dodge on the first shot from Puck. Stork looking a little bit unconfident here. Gonna lose that disruptor before the shot goes off. The Immortal goes down as well. Really good defense by Puck. Oh, distracting with these Storks.
Oh,
my
sick.
God.
Love it.
Sick control there from Puck, and as well, all of those units funneled, so Stork can even take a fight. He's got a lot of info now, finding the timing of the 4th base, and again, Stork is pushing through this choke, but these disruptors, man, that's what it's about.
Yeah, but he, like, the sick thing is Puck has not taken any damage at all from these disruptors. Killing that Immortal, killing that disruptor, killing a disruptor on the other side of the map, and now forcing Stork in that awkward choke mode. Puck has successfully secured this 4th base, and I thought that was borderline impossible. Very well played by the American Protoss. Man, Puck has played just a phenomenal week of StarCraft2 here in Shanghai.
Man, if Puck was a professional mud wrestler, he would be amazing, because when he gets down and dirty, he's just unstoppable. I don't know how the hell he gets back in these games. He took such a bad fight when he pushed Stork, and now suddenly he's even in supply almost. He's getting his own disruptors out 2 at a time. He's got his +2 on the way, his charge.
Oh, one mistake though, and it all ends there. Forward blink by Stork. Maybe Puck could have turned around, trade out the Stalker or 2. But Puck is just right now, he's waiting. He's got 2 disruptors on the way, 1 disruptor out. Gotta be careful, but with his own... He can blink! He can kill them Stalkers!
Oh, it hit
my
from Stork.
God.
The first disruptor hit just barely gets a couple of Stalkers there right now. Puck is going to be giving chase, but of course has to be so careful to not overstep into the disruptor shots of Stork. It is a dance of death, gentlemen. These Immortals at the back are going to help out a lot, but they are so immobile, so if they're caught out way too far, they're dead.
Stork's gotta be careful, man. He doesn't have a Warp Prism over here. He's playing with fire. That's a disruptor shot first.
Oh,
he missed!
no! Oh, Puck missing the shots there.
Gets
Does
the
get
second
1
one.
disruptor. That is nice. Oh, Stork, though, still with the superior numbers. Trying to get in there. Oh, a vicious blink from Puck. Takes out 2 disruptors on the left flank. Stork trying to move in to punish him. But Puck still has a great position. Those Immortals just dishing out the damage onto Stork. And Stork! Oh, my God.
Puck's doing it, man. Like, he's getting phenomenal trades over here. Forward blink. He's gonna get the disruptor. He's gonna get a few more stocks. 2 more disruptors show up for Stork, though. Puck's gotta be careful. Can't blink most of them. But oh my god, Puck is playing so incredibly good. The god of disruptor is what they call him in China. He's showing it again.
Yeah, look at that splitting from Puck. He was just keeping so many of those Stalkers alive, and the focus firing was really good as well. Oh my god, Puck just taking a significant advantage in the supply. He's up by 30 by now, and I also just love the detail you mentioned there so briefly, Pig, that he did not forget to get that +2, which really helps out in those Stalker versus Stalker battles. This is just a beautiful display of PvP from Puck.
I mean, we've seen Puck win so many PvP games where he was down in workers for so long. This game, he's actually
Oh, he
ahead in
flicks
workers.
forward on the disruptors. He's gonna get 2, 3. He doesn't lose a lot of Stalkers though. At the same time, Stork is not taking the. Whoa!
Oh my god!
What is going
Puck
on? Okay.
obliterating the army of Stork with those disruptors in reserve. He just pounced on the opportunity, wiped out most of Stork's disruptors, and lured the Stalkers into a trap. It's almost like every single move Puck makes has a second layer behind
Yeah.
it trying to punish Stork's counters.
Definitely beautiful, calculated Protoss play here. There's one disruptor on the north side. Puck's gonna be careful. Whoa, all of his disruptors do survive. Puck's disruptor shot first, and they trade out an Immortal for a disruptor. Puck has more units though. He's still up for the supply. He may actually be able to close out this game and be the only, or at least be the second foreigner next to Snoot in winning 2 maps over here in this show match. Awesome play.
Yeah, look at the supply. 40 supply advantage out here for Puck. He's even going to find another good connection. 2
Oh,
good connections.
that's it.
With those disruptors, Puck is on fire. He's going to bring down the Nexus. More Stalkers to reinforce here towards the front line. And Stork is just completely falling apart in this game.
Oh, look at that, man. He's avoiding every single disruptor shot. Puck, both games against Stork, he was a little bit behind in a certain phase in the game. This game even pretty damn far behind, but he brought it back, kills the final disruptor there, and if Puck can reinforce 1 or 2 more times, he should be fine. Taking out that fort base, being up 40-50 supply. Awesome, man. Puck is really leaving his mark on this show match.
Puck has made so many new fans throughout this tournament. His play is just so beautiful to watch. Echoes of Liquid Hero here with just this scrappy, all over the place, crazy tactical play, constantly harassing, coming in from all sides. And when it comes to Blink Stalkers and Disruptors, he is absolutely unmatched.
Yeah, I don't know what to say. Rotty, Pig, I mean, just throughout all this entire tournament, so many amazing games. But Puck, absolutely one of my new favorites. Again, 2 more disruptor shots going to go down, not really connecting with anything. But at this point, Puck, 5 base Protoss versus 3 base Protoss. I mean, come on, it kind of tells itself.
Absolutely, man. This game is over. I couldn't agree more. I think what happened there is that he had his rally point on one of his robo units. That unit died, and then you reset your rally points, and suddenly you have 7 units at home. That's a risky blink, but he does get it, man. He kills all the disruptors. And Stork, there are so many disruptors. You're going to lose all your Stalkers, buddy. And that will be it. GG. Fuck. Picks up $500 additional, makes the final score of this show.